In truth, I cannot tell how much time has passed since I sent that letter.
Hello everyone, Science Viking here, and we're back to exploring the depths of Darkest Dungeon. And we have a Brigand invasion, and we barely have enough gold to outfit for the Brigand invasion, so I'm going to drop everybody from the team. We're going to be fighting Vulf again. So, who do we want to send? I honestly think Riviere is necessary, even though her stress level is quite high. We're also bringing Sordival. But who else? I think I want to bring Fuchot and Sordival. And the plan is to go for a mark exploitation. Gonna unequip all trinkets. Sort by character class. And starting with you. Let's see. Yeah, let's start with the Fuseman's actually, I want to see something. So Hound's Rush is considered ranged. What can I equip a Houndmaster with? Increased bleed, skill, and increased damage from this. And honestly, not so much for the boss fight, but for getting through the boss fight, I think I'll give him the Cudgel. For the Vestal, the answer is obvious. The Tome of Holy Healing and the Sacred Scroll. Especially since I really need the stress reduction from the Sacred Scroll. And so that means that you get the Wrathful Bandana and the Fuseman's Matchstick. In addition to this, actually I'm keeping Rallying Flare, but I'm dropping Suppressing Fire for Battlefield Bandage. Your abilities stay the same. And I'm going to drop Hound's Hair. Oh, Lick Wounds only works on self. I'm going to drop Target Whistle for Cry Havoc. And you're good. Yep, I'm bringing some extra healing, and I'm also bringing multiple stress reduction skills because we really do need the Vestal for this one, but the Vestal's mental state is a bit of a problem. Alright, all the shovels, some torches. I believe there is a torch level for this mission. A little food because hunger can happen, and plenty of bandages. A couple of keys, and I believe that's everything we need. I probably have more torches than I need, but I don't feel like risking it. So, let's go kill a Vulf. Who's afraid of the big bad Vulf? Well, I am, actually. Once again, we're immediately presented with a choice of left versus right. Alright. Rallying Flare. It'll remove the stealth from the Fusilier.
The way is lit. The path is clear. We require only the strength to follow it.
And Target Whistle the Fusilier. Probably didn't need to bring that many torches considering the presence of Rallying Flare. But I don't want to take any more chances than I have to. You just go for crush on the other Fusilier. Ooh, just what we needed. And chance for critical healing, and let's just repair all the damage we've taken so far. And the Blanket Fire as the one final screw you before he dies. Like that. Right, he has to be in position 2 to use Cry Havoc. Well, I'm actually going to set that up. Divine Comfort and Stunning abilities are all we need for this fight.
But never hidden.
Really should have used Rampart. This may not be as good of an idea as I thought it was. Actually, it doesn't matter. He could have used Shank in when she was in position 3. Alright, Rallying Flare. Is there like some kind of other mechanic that affects the stress heal of Rallying Flare? Because it is not working as well as advertised. Let's go with Divine Comfort. And finish this guy off.
Confidence surges as the enemy crumbles.
Sleeves the Cutthroat. Keep it up with Cry Havoc. And the one person whose stress level matters, it doesn't get reduced. Yes, it's supposed to have a 60% chance. And that's the behavior I would expect from a 60% chance. Alright, just go for the stun. Because I wasn't sure that he would get that the Man-at-Arms would have turned before him. And he dies this turn, so yeah, I can't finish him off
as
with
the fiend falls,
Dazzling Light.
Faint hope blossoms.
Alright. Back into the default party order, and I believe the Vestal did actually leave that fight with less stress than she had when she arrived. And this is why we brought the shovels. It frustrates me a little bit that it's possible to have more obstacles than the number of shovels that you are allowed to carry.
Wealth beyond measure, awarded to the brave and the foolhardy alike.
Really is wealth beyond measure. We managed to get an extra shovel, but it does frustrate me because it's entirely possible to have a situation where it is impossible to have enough shovels. That's not good. And Rabid Rush to top things off. Alright, I have a plan. Even if it didn't reduce anyone's stress at all, it still did have the effect of getting rid of this guy's stealth, which was my main goal for doing it. So Shank can just hit anyone now. Alright, and now, target. I still need a critical to one-shot him, but I may get one. And in the meantime, let's see, 64% to hit and 8 to 14 damage, versus 79% to hit and 6 to 10 damage, versus 69% to hit and 8 to 14. None of those is really good. I'm just gonna go for this one. You stick with healing for now.
Momentary abatement.
Oh, Doomsay, not Blanket Fire. I don't like Doomsay. I a lot don't like Doomsay.
For the slightest lapse in concentration.
I also don't like that apparently everyone on our team gets to go before anyone on my team this round. Okay, so only the Raider gets to go after any of us. Well, that's the end of him. How much are you bleeding for? Not very much. So she's crushed. Alright, we just need to hit this guy and we can at least deal with stress problems.
Weaken.
And 59%. So a hound is less accurate than a mace. Probably shouldn't have taken the risk, but I took the risk. Without blanket fire, we can at least keep everyone healed a little better. And apparently the dogs on their side are also inaccurate.
Annihilated.
I don't know what Shakespeare was talking about the dogs of war. They really aren't any good at all. And Blackjack won't kill him in one hit. Might stun him. What are the odds that Rampart will hit this thing? 74% and a pretty high chance of stun, and 100% chance to stun if it hits. It didn't hit, but if it had hit, it would have stunned. Same. You only have a 90% chance to stun, but a very high chance to hit, so let's just go with 90% chance to stun. The target is not stunned. Still going for Rallying Flare.
The light. The
I need to
safety.
stop using Rallying Flare. There's absolutely no way that its accuracy is what it
A
claims.
momentary abatement.
I must be misunderstanding some aspect of it. There's just no possibility that it is actually a 60% chance for each hero. I've got to be missing something. Alright, that's... Velocious Hound's Rush on this one. Actually, that's probably the wrong... It was the right call, but it didn't work. It had a chance of getting a critical hit, which would have been helpful. Alright, I'm trying it again. Okay, it's trying to make up for all of its failures.
Press this advantage. Give them no quarter.
We know we just have to deal with the Nasher, and I'm still focusing on healing. Stress is the main problem, but health is also a bit of a problem. And, of course, we just grab a rush. And we have even more bleeding. I'm gonna have you move. I don't expect the fight to go beyond this round. You go ahead and use yourself a bandage and another rallying flare. Okay, apparently just pointing out the contradiction was enough to make it sort itself out, at least for now. I know you can't use Divine Grace, so just use Divine Comfort. Even though it's only one person that's damaged. And now we have to finish off. I miscounted the number of rounds it was bleeding for. I figured it would finish itself off. But no reinforcements this round, which means we have one last round to get some healing in before we have to kill the enemy. And I get the best possible turn order. Not exactly the best possible result of my stress heal abilities, and I really should have anticipated that. Ah, great, he's rabid. Well, let's keep this going. Because we need all the stress healing we can get. And there's
a momentary abatement.
And he's bleeding for enough that I'll give him a bandage, because we have a lot of bandages. And there we go.
Is broken. Maintain the offensive.
I'll drop the crests for the swordsman's crest. And what is that? I don't remember. What does rabies do? Okay, it reduces accuracy in favor of damage. That's not really much of an issue for the man-at-arms. Alright, I'm sure there's treasure in this room, but I'm not going there because I can come back for the treasure once we've killed Vulf if we survive the fight with Vulf. Just heirlooms, which we don't need. I'm told the DLC has some function that gives you a use for heirlooms even after you have all of the structures upgraded.
The will to fight falters.
Just realized I forgot to reposition everyone. I'm just gonna go with it. I was hoping to use Rallying Flare first to reveal the Fusilier, but I'm just gonna go with targeting him. Debuff reduces his protection, and I can reach him with Rampart too. I'd really like him to be stunned. There we go. Alright, this means that even if he survives the Arablest's work, he's still stunned. 95% to hit, and she can kill without a critical, but it isn't guaranteed.
Monstrous
there he
size
goes.
has no intrinsic merit, unless inordinate exsanguination be considered a virtue.
I'm actually going with Cry Havoc. And now I can use Rallying Flare and have a good reason, not just a stress heal. And Blanket Fire was even kind enough to miss. Alright, we're just gonna have the Vestal stick with healing for now.
The fevered pitch of battle.
And there's no way you can one-shot him for stunning. Fortunately, these bandits have pretty low stun resistance. And since I have two people who can exploit marks, Sniper's Mark. I think Target Whistle is better since it reduces protection, but then again, dodge can also be a problem. And there he goes.
Slowly, gently. This is how a life is taken.
Last little bit of healing. And finish him. Perfect. Rallying Flare. Cry Havoc. Dazzling Light. And he's stunned again. However, I'm not dragging this out any further than I already have. There we
Continue
go.
the onslaught. Destroy. them all.
I forgot to give the man-at-arms any trinkets. That explains why he's been underperforming a little bit. Oops. Either way, we're gonna make it through this.
Is struck. A
Might even
blazing
beat Vulf
star
this
is
time.
born.
Here he goes. Alright, there's not really anything we can do about bombs away, and I really should have reset my formation already. Alright, target whistle. Rampart. She can't reach him with sniper shot, nor can she reach him with sniper's mark, leaving rallying flare. You know, without a critical, she won't take out the barrel low bombs, but with a critical, she will. I'm gonna give her a chance.
Destroyed.
I'd rather have her hit Vulf himself, but you take what you can get. And now that he's in position 2, she can. I'm just gonna reposition the Vestal. Should have done that before we started the fight. But Tower Shield is actually more good for me than it is for the enemy. Because here's the thing about Tower Shield. He is now both in position 1 and in position 2, which means that I can reliably hit him with everyone. So, he is still marked. Extra damage and a 38% chance for a critical.
The ground quakes.
And that is what we hope for. I'm just going to have to allow bombs away to happen. And Shank isn't really that dangerous. He's a lot like the cannon. Stun resistance is 200%. 100%. Wait, it doesn't matter. No matter who I target with the stun, it will always hit Vulf.
As the light gains purchase, spirits are lifted, and purpose is made clear.
But now you can hit this guy with Rampart. Hopefully not knock him back. Oh, he resisted the stun. And yep, she gets hit by an explosion, which isn't good, but she'll survive it. That's one of his actions. And the mark wore off because enemies that have multiple actions, their mark wears off twice as fast. The thing is, in this situation, Sniper's mark is more useful than Target Whistle because he has protection of 0 but dodge of 20. And now he has dodge of 0. And there's not much you can do other than hit things, so hit things. And now he's marked and his evasion has been reduced. And let's just give ourselves a dog treat for a nice little buff to damage and accuracy. And Hound's Rush. That's a good Hound's Rush. I like that Hound's Rush. There's Tower Shield, which is a nice, lovely case of not my problem. Divine Grace. It's reasonably likely the Vestal will be on death's door after this, but honestly, that's okay. Actually, this would be a good time to use Defender, though. Yep, she's on death's door. And now he throws out another bomb. However, he is still marked until his next action. Hound's Rush. We're getting him close. He's bleeding for a fair amount in addition to being marked. Okay, that's the end of the mark, but his health is low enough that I should be able to do this. And that is the end of that.
As victories mount, so too will resistance.
Alright. I'm going to give the moon ring to you right now so you can carry it. I grab the medic's greaves. And I've finally had my revenge. Vulf has been killed. And I'm going to quick feed the Vestal, mainly to get her away from death's door. Alright, she's full. Let's find out what was in that side path. Oh, it appears there are 2 side paths. Well, we may as well loot them on our way through here, since we can now retreat at any time. Hopefully there won't be too many more battles. Okay, this is behind 2 different collapsed walls. This better be something good. Something hastily left behind by my ancestors. That's actually pretty okay. So let's just drop the deeds. There's no benefit to holding on to heirloom. Oh, I guess it hadn't completely disappeared yet. For a second it looked like the obstacle respawned. But I suppose that would make sense. If the village is like actively on fire right now, it would kind of make sense that the stuff could respawn. Though I do have to seriously ask, how was it possible for a trap to spawn in behind us? Like, just somebody just hastily assembling a trap in case we decided to go back after killing Vulf?
Will find no clemency in this place.
That's a bit weird. Well, I quick grab this and then we're done. And one more fight to remember you by. Okay, well, we got the dog treats. We have them for a reason. I'm using them. And you might one-shot him. And you do! I'm tired of stress. Unfortunately, damage is also a problem. And I'll worry about the Fusilier later. I still need to hit him with Crush to finish the job. And just let Riviere put herself back together a little bit. Which of course means he gets to use Slice and Dice one last time. A
dizzying blow to body and brain.
One last critical hit to remember you by. Or perhaps a little worse than that. You know what? Finish him off. The stealth guy will be out of stealth relatively soon anyway. And in the meantime...
Another
okay, it's just him and nobody else. Rushed shot. Which does move him back, so it's his way of retreating, but he's also out of stealth now. He's out of stealth, and he's out of options. Pretty soon he'll be out of hit points. Like, now soon. Now is soon.
Foolish horrors. Brought low and driven into the mud.
Oh, and we have to fight one more group, apparently. And yet another Fusilier, because the Outlaws just love their Fusiliers. In fact, I think every group has contained both a Fusilier and a crazy person. That's the end of the crazy person, at least. Stun resistance 90%. Yeah, 50% chance
well struck.
After resistance. That's good enough. Do I want to use Defender? Yes, I want to use Defender.
Inspiration and improvement.
And just quick put him back together a little bit. Healing doesn't matter as much because we're not essentially prepping for a boss fight. Now let's set up a Rallying Flare. Yeah, after I called out the problem with Rallying Flare's behavior, it suddenly started behaving itself. It's like, oh crap, he's onto us. Let's return to the normal odds. Ooh. And his stun resistance is back to normal. Unfortunately, normal is apparently good enough.
Soothed. Sedated. Grievous injury.
Okay, we got somebody. And sort of all is masochistic. Bro, it's been one long, delicious trial. And she pushed Puchot over the edge, and he's irrational.
Reeling,
So,
gasping, taken over the edge into
they're
madness.
They're actually more stressed out. Describe the incident that I may apprehend the cult. They're more stressed out fighting some random mooks than they were fighting Vulf himself. Now we just need to deal with the infamous Bloodletter. I mean, he is infamous. Maybe that's why everybody's nervous that they're fighting him.
Expose exposed to a killing blow.
One guy with the most reason to be stressed out right now is Sortival, and he's fine. Okay, that was actually helpful, thank you. Keep up the healing, not that it really matters, because the fight will be over before long anyway. And there we go.
Perhaps a turning point.
Okay, drop this for this, and drop the bandages for the portrait. Not the portrait, for the gold. And something hastily left behind by my ancestor. Another sacred scroll.
Baubles, paid for in blood.
And drop the rest of the food for the gold, because having killed the Brigand Vulf and looted the place thoroughly, we're out of here. And we now have Vulf's Tassel, which is actually probably be really good on an Arablest. Though there are other hero classes that can use that too. And the one person on this team who wasn't Resolve level 6 is Resolve level 6 now. Ooh, and Sortival is fragile. I'm gonna need to get that fixed. That's a problem. Shows a Warren's Adventurer. Resolution isn't really a problem. Spasm of the Entrails might be a problem. And Sortival is unyielding. Okay, Sortival and Sortival are gonna need to spend some time in the sanitarium once I have the gold for that, which I don't just yet.
Ancient and crumbling, the Abbey's masonry fares no better than the faith of its congregation.
Okay, so they're working on the Abbey, which is kind of a mixed bag, so we can't use the cloister, but the transept and the penance hall are cheaper. Now, before we do anything else, Riviere, yeah, spend some time in the brothel. Get a vacation. You went on 2 consecutive champion... Wait, not just 2 consecutive champion level missions. Riviere has been on 2 boss runs back-to-back without any chance to de-stress between them. So, yeah, get yourself some stress treatment. Sort of all, what are you? You're restricted to only one kind, and that kind is... Actually, no. Then why are you locked out of the transept? Oh. I guess you also can only go to the brothel. Oh, sort of all, you hit the brothel too. And, where's Puchot? Puchot, get yourself some tasty beverages. And that's all the gold we can afford to spend, and that's I still haven't treated Bretuli yet. So we actually have someone who's still stressed from the mission to the darkest dungeon last episode, who I still can't afford to treat. Yeah, things have gotten a little difficult. Still, having finally had my vengeance against the Brigand Vulf, I'm gonna quick get us up a fresh recording file. We have some rebuilding to do from the damage last episode did to us, but looks like things are overall going well. So, I will be back in a moment.
My obsession caused this great foulness, and it is shameful that I must rely upon you to set it right.
Alright, I am back. Got a fresh recording file. And we don't really have enough gold to do much else, so let's embark on a mission. We have 2 options for novice level missions, and I'm inclined to do that. What are our options? We have a short apprentice level mission that will get us, yeah, it's apprentice, not novice, that will get us Eldritch Killing Incense, or a long apprentice mission that will get us a Rampart Shield. Let's do the Rampart Shield one. After all, we recently lost a Rampart Shield when we lost a Man-at-Arms in the Darkest Dungeon. So, this is a very mark exploitation heavy team that we have here. So the first thing I'm going to do is, as usual, I'm going to put the trinkets, sort by character class restriction, and the next question is, who gets the portrait. And here's the thing. A Resolve level 2 hero theoretically could participate in intermediate difficulty missions. So, the person who gets the portrait is going to be one of the 2 Resolve level 1 people. And because this is a long mission, I'm fairly certain that Brigand will reach Resolve level 2 no matter what. She's going to get at least 3 Resolve experience. Now, Penance is probably going to get at least 4, but since he's the farthest away from leveling up, I may as well give him the portrait. Now the question is, what do I give him in his other equipment slot? And I think I'm going to give him the wounding helmet. Right. Now for Columbell, who will be Resolve level 3 if she survives. Let's go with the Raider's Talisman and the Blighting Satchel. The reasoning behind the Blighting Satchel is we're in the Warrens, enemies have elevated blight resistance. The only chance she... You know what? No. I'm not going to emphasize blight in this case. Actually, I'll give her the Hag's Ladle. It elevates the blight chance of Poison Dart to the point of being at least somewhat useful, but also the elevated blight and disease resistance could be really useful. And for you, get the Tome of Holy Healing, and... Oh, right, we lost the Ancestor Scroll. So, I'll give you a Sacred Scroll. I need to sell some of these. I don't need this many. And for you... let's go with the Wrathful Bandana. And the Fuseman's Matchstick again. I like that combination. Alright. As for skills... let's drop Caltrops for... we have a decent number of abilities that can stun people. For you, pick the face, Flashing Daggers, Thrown Dagger, and Poison Darts is pretty good. And for the Vestal, the skills the Vestal always has. And she does also have Sanctuary to prevent nighttime ambush. And for you, let's replace Blind Fire with Suppressing Fire. Alright, this is going to be a bit of a long one, but we need to make more money anyway. And I want to get these... I want to get everyone up to where they can take on veteran level missions. So, let's do what may be our last apprentice level mission. A couple of shovels, plenty of torches. We're in the Warrens, not the Weald, so I don't need to worry as much about torches. It's also a reason to bring profuse amounts of medicinal herbs. We're likely to run into meat wagons, even so I want a decent amount of food. There's going to be a lot of blight, and plenty of use for bandages also. Not a whole lot of reason to bring holy water, though. Alright, looks like we're prepared. Let us embark. And yeah, the swine are resistant to disease, thanks to their unclean living.
To prosecute our war against the swine, we must first scout their squalid homes.
I was going to complain, but in all seriousness, this is actually, it's big, but this is actually a pretty easy map to explore. So we start by going this way, and hey, free torch.
The way is lit. The path is clear. We require only the strength to follow it.
Well, so far we've just encountered a whole lot of nothing, so I'm gonna be honest, following the path of nothing doesn't require a whole lot of strength. Alright. That's two barricades we have to make it through in order to keep the backtracking to a minimum. And we already have hunger. That's unusual. Usually we don't have hunger unless we're backtracking.
Such blockages are unsurprising. These tunnels predate even the earliest settlers.
And even more scouting. That Raider's Talisman is really helping out. I mean, it's only 15% scouting, but that's actually a lot. And I thought this mission was easy, but damn. I wasn't expecting to have this many empty rooms. Oh, there's some blades. And
Finding
gold.
the stuff is
Gold
only
and
the first
food.
test. Now it must be carried home.
And in all honesty, carrying the food home may be the most challenging part. I'm not risking it. A pile of scrolls just looks like more trouble than it's worth. Right. Now's the point where things get slightly complicated. There will be occasional backtracking, I just have the ability to keep it to a minimum. So, alright, I have a plan. So we go through here. Right. Oh, that's... At least you avoided being blighted, but, well, I think we need to worry about... Yeah, so this is what... That's what dipsomania does. Yeah, I think we need to do something about Vilhardane's alcoholism. That could be a problem. Also, we're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... Room number 6! We finally have our first battle. And we're surprised, so we're knocked out of position, and Columbell already has the Black Plague. Lovely. Blight resistance is only 40%, versus 120% base blight. So even, that's the other thing, the enemies resist blight, but since this is an apprentice level mission,
Grievous
they don't resist it
injury.
all that much.
Palpable fear.
So we have something resembling a plan. Mark the wretch for death. And even more. The red plague. Wow, you just have every kind of plague. And I kind of made a mistake. Now mark the chop. I wasn't expecting him to go first and then to go last and then first.
One's limits.
Wait, did he get critical marked for death? The most useless critical I think it is possible to have is a critical hit with marked for death. But unfortunately, Columbell being out of position like this can only use pick to the face. I really do need to just have her move. Alright, just get rid of the wretch. Like that.
Annihilated.
Honestly, I probably shouldn't have even bothered with marking him. I was expecting him to finish the wretch off with thrown dagger. Then I found out that Columbell can't use thrown dagger from position 1. Columbell really, in general, is having a bad day.
Decimated.
As is the swine chopper. I may as well heal everyone.
The wounds of war can be healed,
And
but never hidden.
that's the end of that. There we go.
As victories mount, so too will resistance.
And even more scouting. This game really is treating us with kid gloves today. And we have a trap, and conveniently, the person with the best trap disarm chance is also the one with the most stress. Perfect. And more hunger. Well, we were prepared for that. Okay, so I got a plan. Start by marking the drummer. The mark may not be necessary, but actually, perfect.
Obliterated.
I needed that critical, so it's not ideal. But now I can use Sniper's Mark on... I can't reach the chopper with Sniper's Mark. And this will do 7 to 11 damage on the slasher in spite of his high protection. Just shoot him! And it does exact the one damage number I needed it not to do. Well, Losbellville, finish this off for
Their
me.
formation is
There we
broken.
go.
Maintain the offensive.
And of course, it wouldn't be the Warrens without vomit. I'm gonna be honest, if I was eating the stuff that they've been eating, I'd be vomiting too. That's a somewhat inefficient use of Mark for death. Honestly, I keep forgetting how fragile apprentice-level enemies are. I really could have probably just killed them. And in fact, just go pick the face. Yeah, I didn't even need to mark that one. Same way I don't need to mark this one.
Eradicated. Death waits for the slightest lapse in concentration.
Alright, let's go with my comfort. And, yeah, collect bounty will finish the chopper off, almost certainly. Yep, 90% chance to hit, and its minimum damage is higher than his current health.
Press this advantage.
Of course, having said that, it would have been really funny if it managed to miss. Alright, you know, I don't know, on the one hand, we're quite far into the mission. On the other hand, I don't see a lot of benefit to resting just yet when we're so far away from, when we're in such good shape. The only issue is, Columbell's mental state. Alright, this grants a buff. The question is, what is the buff? The buff is increased damage. I honestly should have probably given that to the Arablest. Though, I don't know, we really don't want to give alcohol to her, considering her issues. Alright. And see if you can just one-shot this.
Another abomination cleansed from our lands.
And these are little enough of a threat. I'm just going to use Rallying Flare. I should have known better. At this point, I really should have known better.
With impunity.
I'm tempted to go over the footage of all the times I've used Rallying Flare just to calculate the odds of it failing that many times. At this point, there's absolutely no cost to using it, so we may as well. And yeah, apparently, it's like, you know, sometimes you kick an electronic device to make it start working. You just have to, instead of hitting it, you just have to insult it a little bit and it'll start behaving itself.
Be gone, fiend.
Citrine at full stack is worth less than gold, so I'm just gonna get some gold. And now we're going back the other way. There's a certain amount of backtracking I'm willing to do to avoid using up a shovel, because we only have 2 of them, and a number of areas aren't scouted yet. And now we're going this way, actually. We can avoid this hallway battle, but I want to investigate this room. Need to be careful for the trap. And it's disarmed. This is, I think, probably going to be my one room that I skip unless it has treasure. It has treasure! Well, looks like I'm going to give in to temptation. Right. And another trap for you to disarm. Columbell is really good at this. I mean, well, fundamentally we are robbing a grave, I suppose, and so it's a good thing that we brought a professional. Alright. I'm going to try doing things slightly differently this time. 7 to 11 against the slasher, not counting a possible critical hit. So, it's actually very likely that she'll one-shot.
Another one falls.
Also, I don't know if this is intentional, but when the Arblest kills something, the overlapping animations of the arrow hitting the enemy and the skull to indicate that they died places the arrow right between the eyes. So every time she one-shots, every time she kills something, she actually does shoot it right between the eyes. Looks really neat. Like right between the eyes of the death indicator.
Destroy
done with you?
them
Hard.
all.
Well, that's 2 of them that don't get to act. And she's marked. I'm just gonna heal. I mean, I could stun one of them, but we have a pretty good chance of finishing this fight with everyone at full. Never mind. I was gonna say we have a pretty good chance of finishing this fight with everyone at full health, but then the wretch got a turn before any of us did. Well, stun the drummer in case it also gets to go before us. Well, try anyway. And may as well use Thrown Dagger, because why not? Sniper Shot has a decent chance of killing, and it doesn't kill. Well, get rid of the Drummer Pig, it's more of a problem than the Wretch. And Vilhardane gets to go first, so there we go.
Surges as the enemy crumbles.
And it's an unlocked strongbox, so no curio interactions.
Glittering gold,
And food.
trinkets and baubles, paid for in blood.
Yeah, seriously, this is going uncomfortably well. Alright, switch over to Columbell because we got a trap coming up. I've been doing a much better job of not accidentally walking into those. And yet more nothing for us to inspect. And now we go this way. And we're gonna have a room battle in a moment. Let's see what we get. Cultist! Just one cultist and 3 pigs. Was the cultist, like, raised by pigs? Was he abandoned by his family and so the pigs raised him and so he believes he's one of them? Because they raised him as one of their own? Okay, 9 to 15, so we need a little luck to kill. I'm gonna go after the wretch.
As the fiend
I made the right call.
a faint hope blossoms.
And Pennant really messed that one up. I still stand by the decision of having him try to do that, it's just I wish it had worked. Okay, this can't one-shot any of them. Unless it gets a critical. Let's just wear him down. How much damage would Judgment do? 3 to 6. The odds of that killing are very low. I'm just gonna heal. If the Grave Robber had done slightly more damage, I could have finished him off with Judgment. Well, now she can finish him off with Pick to the Face. Need a little luck for this one to kill, and we have it! And now we have a chance to stun this guy.
As the light gains
Or
purchase,
not.
spirits are lifted.
That is the luckiest pig I have ever seen. Everything just seems to bounce off of him. Well, that'll get us started. This is 7 to 13. This is 7 to 11. Yeah, let's go with Pick to the Face. And there we go. I guess his luck finally ran out.
A trifling victory, but a victory nonetheless.
Okay, and loot's just an heirloom chest. There's nothing impressive about that. But, yep, we're going to inspect this room. After inspecting and cataloging all of the nothing, let's let the party have some action. Like so. Action and vomit. So the map 8 to 13, you know? I'll risk it. And I got exactly what I needed. We've rolled a lot of 12s targeting the wretches. Keep getting exactly the damage that we need to get. Until we don't. Butcher cut, that ain't good. Alright, 10 to 20, so we're taking some risk, but let's see if we can pull this off. And it does 10. Well, one thing I can do is that. Ooh, critical that. We're gonna have to deal with one squish for the Elder Gods. Yep, that's the sound effect. And some 3 damage worth of bleeding for the Elder Gods, too. I sometimes forget how trivial bleeding damage is at low level. Alright, this time marked for death is the right move. He's in exactly the position we want him to be in. But we do have to deal with that, and that could stun, which could make me eat my words. But fortunately, I don't have to eat my tasty, tasty words, and so instead I get to shoot them. A little bit of healing. A little bit is all that we need. And you're bleeding for almost nothing, so just kill the cultist. Grab the gold, no
Success
point in
so
taking the crests.
clearly in view. Or is it merely a trick of the light?
Now for our, I believe this is one of only 2 instances of backtracking that we're going to have to do. And we're in pretty good shape. We have 2 logs. Let's make camp. Let's get some rest. And
Gathered
feast.
close in tenuous firelight and uneasy companionship.
Alright. So first, sanctuary. Second, gallows humor. Well, that didn't entirely work. And as well, encouraging. And he's the only one who can use encourage, but he can't use it on himself. So let's go with the increase to accuracy and critical. His stress is still pretty low.
The light,
Right.
the promise of safety.
And we just have 5 more rooms to explore. I believe this is one of the very few holy water interactions. I still stand by not bringing any of that, though. And carrion eaters. They're just pure beasts. Fortunately, they're also pure fragile.
A devastating
Like so.
blow.
So his quote is just an ellipsis. It's like he acknowledges that you would expect him to say something and doesn't say anything. And... Hoo-hoo. Naturally. And let's see if we can finish the job. Just barely not. So, munched. She gets munched. I was worried she'd be gravely nibbled. Ooh, that's a serious munch. Because you got the Vestal is a bad case of the munchies. Oh, we have
Be
amplifier.
wary. Triumphant pride precipitates a dizzying fall.
Yeah, but this is an apprentice level mission, so there's really not so far. We're already on the bottom. There's really nowhere to fall to. Alright. I'm actually going to risk having the bounty hunter disarm the trap this time. Because still have... That risk did not pay off. I was hoping to use that as an opportunity to lower his stress, because I want everyone's stress to be as low as possible. Partially because I'm kind of hoping to just finish the mission with no one needing stress treatment. Still need to treat the Arablest's alcoholism, though. Whoa. Yes, we had scouting for that trap. What of it? Okay, and room battle with... I'm gonna continue adventuring. I'm doing the room battle with the treasure. Yes, I want to explore more than the game wants me to explore.
If only treasure could staunch the flow of otherworldly corruption.
And again, we need the money. Also, this has been a short mission for being a long mission.
A handsome reward for a task well performed.
2 more fights. Ooh, and it's more munchies. And this time they get to go first. Ah, such wonderful blight. To the face.
The ground quakes.
That's one of them we're rid of. And let's see if we can get rid of the other one that still has an action. We can. And Pennant completes the set.
This expedition at least promises success.
At this point, no joke, I'm dropping the bandages. Yes, I realize bleeding is a bit of a threat, but we're so close to the end that there's very little that can go wrong. Especially when the last fight is spiders. Maybe I should have dropped the torches,
A blazing
but it matters
star
very
is
little.
born.
Billhardane has been marked. Wow, they actually managed to set that up and pay it off in their one round where they get to exist. What is your guys' problem with our Arabic? Well, I don't know. She did kill one of them. I guess the other 3 have decided they want to avenge their fallen comrade very badly. Right, that was the one damage number I need you not to roll.
Back to the pit.
Well, you can finish the job. Like so. Still have the one
Compassion is a
spitter to deal
rarity
with, though.
in the fevered pitch of battle.
And now we don't.
Foolish horrors. Brought low and driven into the mud.
No reason to hold on to supply items anymore. And yet... Oh, that was trapped. Really, yeah, I really should have known better, I know. Anyway, we may as well light up the firewood to completely eliminate everyone's stress.
Circle in the dark. The battle may yet be won.
And... encourage. Pray. And you can use encourage on the Vestal. And I still need to use Sanctuary to prevent nighttime ambush. And with a guarantee of no more midnight surprises, they can end their brief vacation in the Warrens. And while they were on vacation, they carefully cataloged everything that was down here. Well, let's get you guys back home.
Labyrinth may yet prove to be navigable.
$8,400, not bad, but not amazing, though the $7,500 quest reward is nice. I'm mainly excited about the Rampart shield, considering how much I use Rampart, and the fact that we recently lost one of those. And... okay, so... Losbaville is the only one that isn't high enough level, that didn't reach level 3, which proves that Pennant wouldn't have reached it without without the portrait. However, since she has resolved level 2, she still can take on veteran missions. We just need to be careful. And Pennant has an issue that needs to be treated, as does Columbell, and that's one of the bad ones. Well, both of them are bad. Misses the Spot is bad, especially for a bounty hunter who's a damage-dealing class, and since it reduces his critical chance. And Dark Temptation is likely to get us in some real trouble. Something tells me that could cause someone to summon
Women
a Shan.
and men, soldiers and outlaws, fools and corpses. All will find their way to us now that the road is clear.
Well, unfortunately, that would have been really helpful a few weeks ago, but honestly, I'm not inclined to dismiss anyone. So... Bertulli to the bar. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to treat the diseases, because those need to get treated. Yep, let's get rid of the rabid man-at-arms. And, yep, Riviere has the squirts. Let's get that fixed. And Columbell. Columbell has 2 diseases. She has the multicolored plague. That is a really nasty... Each of them would be bad on their own, but minus 75% blight and bleed resistance, minus 75% disease resistance, minus 20% max HP, minus 5 speed, and minus 5% critical chance. It really sucks to be Columbell right now. No, let's start with the Black Plague. And let's see if the Nomad Wagon has anything impressive. I believe we already have critical dice, but it's possible that we lost them at some point. Nope, we still have them. Otherwise, none of these is really that good. Anyway, well, I realize this video is a little bit shorter than usual. I believe we're near the 1 hour mark. So, having defeated Vulf and having finally gotten the inexperienced people up to where they can take on veteran missions, this is actually going to be the end for this part. Thank you all for watching. I love you all, and I will see you again next time.